I'm going to start reading the book of Exodus in the Holy Bible today. I have never read anything else in the Holy Bible except for the book of Genesis, which I just finished. And that essentially sets the stage for apparently everything else that happens. You've got the account of creation, which is the very beginning when God creates everything. Then you have the beginning of the Abrahamic religions, which is with Isaac and Ishmael. And I'm sure there's some others there as well. And then we have Noah's Ark, and it all ends with Jacob being buried in Egypt. And he tells his, I believe it was his sons, that when it's time, they need to come and get his bones. I'm reading the Bible in a very narrative and historical way, not actually, looking for any allegories or any deeper meaning per se. Hey, if something happens, it happens. But that's the way I'm reading it. So if you want, join me, follow along. I'm reading the New Living Translation, so things do get a little bit different. I've never read the Bible before, so this is all brand new to me. And let's get right into it here. So Exodus. And I have never read literally anything further. So I don't know how many chapters are in here. I don't know anything. So, all right, Exodus. Author Moses, according to tradition. Date written 1450 to 1410 BC. Oh, okay, so Moses is the one that did the Ten Commandments, as far as I know. That's what we are kind of learn. It's pretty broad knowledge that Moses wrote the Ten Commandments. I think so. All right, so 1450 to 1410 BC. Actually, I'm going to read this. I don't know what this is. Prologue or a pretext or something before it actually gets into the chapter 1. There's a whole lot that goes on here. So let's read that. Moses, according to tradition. Content. Every country has its own national history. A record of the events leading to the nation's independence. The book of Exodus records Israel's national history. Oh, okay, so this isn't about this isn't what Moses said. This is what's in Exodus. Interesting. Okay, so let me restart that. Every country has its own national history, a record of the events leading to the nation's independence. The book of Exodus records Israel's national history, recounting the earliest years of the nation and of God's covenant with them. Oh, okay. So this is probably going to be following along Isaac's lineage then, I'm assuming. Because Abraham and God, they had God's covenant with Abraham, his descendants, and then Abraham gave his blessing to Isaac. Okay. Exodus takes its name from the main event of the book, the Israelites' deliverance from slavery in Egypt. Okay. The book begins with a short account of how the Israelites became slaves in Egypt. The focus then shifts to the birth and life of Moses, God's chosen leader for Israel. Oh, did not know that. From a burning bush in the Sinai desert, God called Moses to return to his homeland of Egypt and lead the Israelites to freedom. But Pharaoh refused to free the Israelites and set in motion God's 10 devastating plagues upon Egypt. Set in motion God's 10 devastating plagues upon Egypt. Moses wrote the 10 Commandments as well, right? It seems a little coincidental, if so. 10 plagues, 10 Commandments, does that mean anything? Maybe not. Maybe I'm reading too much into it already. Okay. The final plague not only changed Pharaoh's mind, but became a memorial of God's deliverance, celebrated in the observance of Passover. People still do Passover. I'm not actually sure what that is, but I know that I've heard it before. Once set free, the Israelites traveled to the wilderness of Sinai to worship God. But Pharaoh chased the Israelites to the Red Sea, where God displayed his power by parting the sea for the Israelites to cross, and then closing it over the pursuing Egyptians. The Israelites were then free to travel to Mount Sinai. There, God established his covenant with them, giving them the 10 Commandments. There we are. Giving them the 10 Commandments and plans for the tabernacle. Tabernacle. I don't know what a tabernacle is. I guess we'll find out. After the Israelites constructed the tabernacle, Oh, it's something they created. Okay. After the Israelites constructed the tabernacle, God filled it with his glory, signifying his presence with them. And then it's going to start the next chapter here, which I'm actually going to stop, and then I'll get into that chapter 1 of Exodus.